dagger work? Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Somerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the... Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing.
Find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Somerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every High Elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents, I believe in caution as much as the next High Elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And she was adept at... They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon. Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
This may seem like an odd location for a shop, but I actually get quite a bit of business here. Not entirely sure why. Well?
The High Elves have some decent vineyards here. Russefeld and Alinor both have fine selections.
Next time I'm in the field, I think I'll bring a... Welcome to our hall. Are you familiar with the guild? The Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up.
I didn't think there would be a reason for the Fighters Guild to come to Somerset, but it seems every...
Oh. Welcome to our hall. Are you...
A fascinating application. Welcome. Are you here on mages? Yes, of course. We're lawkeepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a... Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanus will be pleased. We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the... We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself. Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the Guild.
I know a few of my guildmates have dreams of maybe one day getting invited to join the Sidric Order. I am of the same mind as Varnus Galerian, however. The Mages Guild is superior in every way to that ancient...
It has come to our attention that strange sea creatures have been encountered in the wilds of Somerset, even in locations far from easy access to the sea. I find that hard to believe, but we investigate all such reports.
Welcome to our hall, the Fighters Guild. You should consider... Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, right. Our new guild master... Ha! There's a good question. Then let me be the first to officially welcome you.
What? All the beasts you see on this dock are due to be taken to Silvarwoad, the island's...
Please, I was once like you.
A newcomer in the warehouse district. Unusual, but how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No, no. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing! Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Somerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred...
This is unheard of! What? Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
For the workers I hired.
Such anger! Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but O'Newell's assistant has lived on Somerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Zoxolza have to say? Raz intended no offense. Some of this one's best friends are lizards. But this one wonders why the Alldark is gathering up newcomers, and does the King Lady condone his actions? Raz suggests the next course is to investigate the monastery. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep.
Our fair and pretty land is threatened from beyond a clear and shining sea. The Welkinar, our Griffin knights, take wing and make a stand. With courage, strength, and bravery, they keep the Altmer free. Charge, O Griffin knights, fly on and fight our foes. Charge, O Welkinar, take wing with swords and bows, swords and bows. From Alinor to Shimmering and every point between, the Welkinar ride the winds and defend our gleaming isle, whether commoner or noble, or merchant or queen. The Griffin knights protect us all, always with a smile. Charge, O Griffin knights, fly on and fight our foes. Charge, O Welkinar, take wing with swords and bows, swords and bows. Charge, O Griffin knights, fly on and fight our foes. Charge, O Welkinar, take wing with swords and bows.
Kinlady Ovenis knows what's best for Shimmerine. That's why all newcomers are checked twice before being allowed to wander the...
Mara, help me. Mara, help me find my son. An adventurer? Oh, praise you, Mara, for hearing my prayers. Please, newcomer, I'm desperate. Yes, I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, he was agitated, scared. I asked him what was wrong, but he left without a word. The guards arrived later. They said he turned himself in, that he was involved in a plot to kill our Sapiarch, Icantar. No, he vanished. They say he escaped. Can you believe it? Why would he turn himself in only to escape a few hours later? They're hiding something, I know it. Please, Caraval, help me find my boy. He would never hurt anyone. I swear it. You have a perfect heart, newcomer. None of my neighbors would lift a finger to help me. The guards placed Arathel in a cell beneath the Kinlady's manor. I'm told the Justiciar of Remand is there now. A mer named Telerion. He must know something. No, Icantar treats us like family. Arathel is Icantar's apprentice, you see? He was so proud when the attestation came through. He's been a bit withdrawn, though. I found some Aprax literature in his room. But it's just a phase, right? Right. You're new to the Isle. I apologize. Apraxic Mer are people who, for whatever reason, were expelled from the greater Elven community. Most Aprax labor for years to re-enter society. Others choose to remain in exile. I feel very sorry. Some do, yes. Treatises on class warfare, religious hypocrisy, that sort of thing. A lot of young Mer take a liking to it. I think it's healthy to push back a bit. Not too much, of course, but a bit. Rumor has it that a famous Aprax called the Mother of Rats lives in the city, but I've never met her. And even if I did, we're forbidden from speaking with her. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it?
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards, and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Leave! Right now!
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why do you care about the complexities of Altma bureaucracy? Still, if I had to make a guess, I'd say they were taking into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away. Aldark Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by Kinlady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's some... The Aldork and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own No, not now. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. Aldark Tilkala arrived right after the Aldork and his... The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down.
I should be seeing your back walking out of here by now.
Aldark's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with the sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldark and a disgruntled Kinlady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore. A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldark acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers.
You've got to the count of 3 to leave.
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. cages? These people
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please! It's a nightmare. We came to Somerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra. Here? And that's a Scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
Prepared, but never fear.
Daedric
Your
cultists?
turn will come.
I'll deal with the Pearl. You hold off these creatures. Magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Rite Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Somerset. Oriandra is indeed a member of our ancient monastic society. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once... Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know...
Shimmerine has always boasted the largest population of newcomers, given its location as a...
I suppose the divine prosecution helped you settle into our fair city? Or maybe it was monks.
Every tradesman from here to Alinor looks at the decree and thinks they'll suddenly have an army of cheap labor.
She fell upon the beach. I wonder still to gaze out at the sea. Hope to see her shining face smiling back at me. My star-eyed bride of Allah, whose last words were my name. My star-eyed bride of Alinor, I still weep.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Oldark. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Psijic? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Psijics. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Psijic mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Psijic mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Everything in the city is so fancy. Makes me kind of uncomfortable. Do you think this inn has a shabbier room?
I don't know you, and I am not interested in knowing you. Leave me alone. I have many things...
Listen round, I've a warning to sound about an overgrown weed. I don't mean to forebode.
Yes? And who might you be? The kin lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's... Yes. So you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with Alldark T'Kala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Somerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
How bold of you. The Neberard dares to stand in my holy presence. Very well, bold Neberard. What can the new Alldark of Shimmerine do for you? And please, try not to bore me or spray any spittle on my spotless vestments. You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The kin lady and I have nothing but the best interests of Somerset and the newcomers in mind. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For a Neberard. You're right, where are my manners? Using a word you couldn't possibly be expected to understand. It means unwelcome. As in, you are not welcome here. That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own... I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the other guests in my absence.
Dare you barge into my home without so much as a bio? No, I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out, before I call the guards. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Somerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous. Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Somerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but...
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Psijic Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Aldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valserin of the Psijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately, to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out whether Aldark asked Kinlady Avanice to meet him out here. Based on what we saw on the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
This is what dealing with High Elf... Please, you must help. I think Bringus got caught up in a love affair, see? Decided to run off with some High Elf named Neerlin. I was supposed to meet them in Archon's Grove, help them get off the island. Yes, I'm sure of it. I couldn't find them anywhere. I did meet a High Elf named Estadel. He wouldn't tell me much, but he was definitely searching around the Grove. He may know more about the situation than I do.